Welcome back to episode 4 of the My Team Driver Career Mode. We are at Baku today, Azerbaijan, and we are hoping today that a circuit I'm quite confident at, we might be able to get our first points. As you can see, I just did some simulating, or I'm about to do some simulating of the practice. I'm going to go for time management, I believe. Let's do a weight redistribution, 70% success, and we complete it, which is good. That used 10 minutes of our time up. We now go for a rear downforce session, and unfortunately that failed. We're going to try that one again, which will use 14 minutes of time up, which passes, which is good. Some tyre wear to get some R&D points. We can do the same, another tyre wear for 100 more R&D points. We've got a purple practice session there. We're now going to go into qualifying pace, and we're going to try the 70% one, which I don't know why I did that. I should have just chose the 100% one. In reality, I should probably just go through and do all the 100% ones and then all the 70% ones. Obviously, it's all about learning this new little mechanic for the new game. But obviously, we'll develop and get better as the game goes on. It's only race 4, so we're not exactly going to be the Mercedes by now. Okay, so here we are at qualifying. Right, over to the right hand side for turn 1. Nice entry into the next straight. You have to go far to the right there and try and get a good release onto the first DRS straight, which is nicely done so far. We're into P7. Go around again. This is my second lap. I did do a lap to warm the tyres up. I felt like I needed to do a second lap at Baku. Not sure why. I just went round once, and then my second time I was green, so I went round again. As you can see, I'm 2 temps up going into the castle section. Okay, so around turn 7, you have to cut that corner a little bit, otherwise you lose too much time. Now we go through the castle, turns 8, 9, 10 and 11. Nicely done, round 12. Now you got to get on the power as much as you can down here into a somewhat tight left-hander. Brake, go around the curb and don't hit the wall on the right hand side, which we slightly touch but I think we'll be okay. Round the outside of turn 16 into sector 3, and then you just get yourself on the power now. No releasing. Into gear 8, DRS gets enabled halfway down. Come 3, 2, 1, DRS through the speed trap as well. And that puts us P10. P10's not that bad. We do drop to 17th, unfortunately. But we're going to go out again at the end of Q1 and see what we can do with this lap. Alright. I'm actually going to try and be a little bit more tactical here and let a car go past. I let Stroll go past. I think I try to train onto the back of Alonso. There's Hamilton, and we go now. Alonso's coming up behind us now, and we'll just tuck in, let him go past, and grab the slipstream as he goes past in the Alpine. What can we do? We're going to have slipstream for the entire race, so hopefully we'll be up. Good entry into turn 1. But we are a 10th down. We are now 2 temps down following Alonso in the dirty air. I think this hasn't played out the way I wanted it to, because now we're almost 3 tenths down. Although we're gaining a little bit of time back down the straight, but it's not really enough. With 4 tenths, we lose so much time in the corners. This was a big mistake. Oh no. We're not going to improve on our time. 17th is the highest we're going to start in tomorrow's race. They cut that corner. The race is over. The session's over now. We do get a warning for that, but we're 6 tenths down as we go through the castle section. And unfortunately, we are not going to beat our time. We're 7 tenths down, 8 tenths down now. Alonso's gone. And we spun. We lost our front wing. Our front wheel. That wasn't even on purpose. I genuinely lost the car. I didn't flash back because we was down on time. And I storm off into my locker. Okay, race day. I don't know where, I can't remember where we start. I think it might just be 22nd because I feel like everyone will have improved.
A fourth row start is just about as likely to give you a podium as a pole position would. And remember, in 2017 and 2018, both Lance Stroll and then Sergio Perez took surprise podiums here. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequences for all of our drivers. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Lando Norris, and Sainz, Perez, Gasly, Vettel, and Yuki Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, and Ocon, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, the owner driver.
We do start P18. We only dropped 1 position. Lundgaard starts 20th.
And Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
I think from P18 we can do something decent in this race. We are going to change the strategy. We're going to do a 2-stop, but we're going to go for soft, medium, soft. We're going to stretch that first stint out a couple of laps. Well, 1 lap, and then we're going to extend the mediums by a couple of laps also. It might mean that we lose a little bit of tyre wear towards the end of the stints, but I feel like it would be beneficial to have the softs at the end of the race, when, especially if there's only people on 1-stops, are going to have very aged, hard tyres, which isn't going to be good for them. Right, let's get this race underway. Giovinazzi in 16th. I think that's Schumacher to my right. And let's get going. We get a really good start on Giovinazzi. We're going to try and go up the right-hand side to get a better line into turn 1. Mick Schumacher gets a bad start, which was helpful for us. And we got around the outside. Can we get Ocon into turn 1? We can. We're up to P13. I'm going to go up the inside of Alonso and Lance Stroll. And can we get ourselves on the power? Put it into overtake. Why didn't I put it into overtake? Alonso covers the outside. We now put it into overtake. Too late. But we're going to go around the outside of Fernando Alonso. And we regain P11 now. Now we're on the hunt for Yuki Tsunoda. What can we do? For some reason I've got it in overtake now. I've accidentally left it on. As we go down into turn 7, we're going to cut the inside. Going to try and beat Tsunoda to the castle section, but he manages to keep his car in there. And unfortunately, that makes us lose a lot of time to the Aston Martin up ahead of Sebastian Vettel. We've still got overtake on. Potentially need to change that so I know when it's on and off. If I can change it to hold to use. So we go around turn 15, and we're already 7 tenths away from Yuki Tsunoda and 2 seconds away from Vettel in P9. But we are 1 position off points. That is our main goal for today. I want points. Hopefully we get a better strategy than Yuki Tsunoda. Okay, so that is lap 1 done in this Baku Grand Prix. Quite a clean lap. Fortunately we lost a lot of time. We're now coming down on lap 2. We're still behind Yuki Tsunoda. We're 6 tenths down though, only a second behind Sebastian Vettel. As Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. I've got Fernando Alonso chasing me down in P12. He's going to try and go on the inside into turn 1 as DRS is enabled. We get round turn 1 cleanly, but yellow flags. I think Alonso spun. I think he went for a move that wasn't there. Let's have a little look. It does spin. Don't know if he clipped me or if he clipped the left hand side. Not sure. Here's us with Ocon following us through the castle section. Fortunately he did get past us going on to lap 6, and we're going to have the DRS here and ERS going down the home straight. Some cars have pitted. Obviously I wouldn't be in 7th if that hadn't have happened. But we're pushing here for position 6. And we're going to fake to the left and go right. We're not. We're going to go to the left and go around the outside of Ocon and get back over to the other side to get onto the outside line for turn 1. Hamilton's in 1st, Saunders in 2nd. We're in 3rd now. Ocon in 4th, Giovinazzi in 5th after the first set of pit stops. We're the only soft compound of tyre, I believe, to not pit yet. Ocon's going to have the DRS on us here. Hopefully he goes to the right so we can go into the pit lane, and he doesn't. He goes into the left. Ocon, we need you to get past, mate. Okay, gets past, and we bomb it into the pit lane. Now we need a good stop from the South Blues racing team. We're slowly falling. Lundgaard goes past us, Alonso's past us, Mazepin's past us, Gasly's past us, Perez is past us, Vettel's past us, Schumacher and Sainz are past us. Can we get out ahead of Latifi? Who's also in the pits. We will get out ahead of Latifi in P18. Back to where we started. But we've got fresher tyres now, so hopefully we can push on. Lap 8 out of 26. Okay, we're right on the back of Schumacher coming to the end of lap 8. We should be able to get past him here with DRS once it is enabled. We'll use a little bit of ERS as well. And fake to the left and actually go round the left hand side. Normally I would fake to the right again like I did on Ocon, but we're going to use ERS, we're going to get ahead of him, and we are going to take 17th back in this race. Leclerc's down in 19th. I'm not sure what happened with Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Or both Ferraris. We've got Sainz in 16th and Leclerc in 19th. Got Mazepin fighting Vettel and Sainz here. We're going to fake to the left and go around the right hand side as Sainz moves over to cover it. We're going to go around the outside of Carlos Sainz and Nikita Mazepin. And we're going to have DRS on Vettel on the next straight. Let's look at a replay of this move. Sainz doesn't know where we are. We don't make contact on the outside. We go all the way around the outside of the Ferrari and the Haas driver. And we have the Aston Martin driver in our sights. 22% overtake, or ERS. We should be able to get Vettel here. Put us up into P14, but it does look like he's going into the pits. He is going into the pits, so we do take P14. Mazepin and Sainz 15th, 16th. We have Perez in 12th. I'm pretty sure Verstappen was just in the pits, but in 13th. This is Lundgaard on the following lap. Don't know if that's against Alonso or against Ocon. I think it's Alonso. But Lundgaard has the position and then he just gives in. And Alonso goes around the outside and the Alpine driver. Now we're on the back of Perez, Lundgaard and Alonso. It is Alonso. We go up the inside of Perez at turn 7, sorry. And now we go around the castle section, following Lundgaard nicely. We've obviously got better tyre wear because we're easily catching up with our teammate. That is a great move on Perez at turn 7. Now you follow us with Lundgaard in our sights. Perez is right behind us. Obviously that Red Bull is much faster, and the Ferrari, to be fair, is a much faster car than what ours is. I'm going to try and keep Lundgaard ahead of us so we get the DRS. Got to brake early because he's obviously slow. He's struggling somehow. I'm not sure why, but we're going to try and use him to catapult us to try and get Fernando Alonso. We have got another pit stop. We will have to pit again on around lap 19. Because here we go. We're going to go up the right hand side of Lundgaard, really close to the wall. Perez is going to try it as well. I'm going to late brake, try and get into the corner before Checo does. And we do. We managed to put it off. Now we've got Alonso in our sights. We've got DRS, but I'm not sure if we'll catch him on this straight. But on lap 11, we're doing pretty well in 11th. As you can see on the map, a yellow flag. I'm not sure where that's. I think it's behind us. And I believe it's a Haas driver. You can see here from Carlos Sainz's point of view. I think that's Sainz, not Ferrari. I think it's Nikita Mazepin is out of the race, or is it Mick? I'm not 100% sure. I think it was Mick. As we now chase Alonso for P10 in this Baku Grand Prix. We will get him on the straight. The DRS is so overpowered, especially down this long straight. Up into overtake. We'll burn the battery, but DRS will enable us to make this overtake before the end of the straight. We're going to go to the outside and try and get a better corner than him. And we brake a lot later than the Alpine driver. Not many people can say they've overtaken a world champion in F1. Obviously we've already done Vettel in this race, and Raikkonen. It'll be a while until we're overtaking Lewis, I reckon. And here we are, we're on lap 13, we're in P10, we've got Tsunoda and Giovinazzi up ahead of us, Perez and Sainz behind us. I feel like they should be swapped. The Red Bull and the Ferrari are much quicker than the Alpha and the Alpha. They're both Alphas, aren't they? Perez does make a move on us down the straight here, going through turn 20. I mean, I wouldn't call that a turn. As we brake late going into turn 1, can we get a good exit and use DRS on Perez as Lundgaard goes into the pits and we go up to P8? I think Perez is going to be gone now. We can't quite manage to keep up with him. This is Lundgaard. He's going on to a hard compound of tyre. So he's gone medium hard or medium hard. Not entirely sure. Perez is now 2 seconds up the road, but we are fighting Carlos Sainz behind us, who does make an overtake around the outside of turn 15, but that does enable us to have the DRS down the straight. We use a bit of our battery up here to try and stay with him, because like I say, the Ferrari is quicker than us. We've got Ocon in P10 and Charles Leclerc in P11 behind us. We're going to make this overtake on the Ferrari driver. I'm going to go around the outside again, close to the wall. I'm going to try and squeeze him to the left and fake to the right. Get a good turn into turn 1. We feel contact and he hits us, same as Alonso did. Again, I'm not sure if that's my fault, his fault, or just a racing incident. I just turned into the corner. Potentially could have given him more room, but unfortunately for him, that is points out the window for Carlos Sainz. We're up to P6 on lap 19. We've got Lance Stroll up ahead of us. Tsunoda's in 4th, 9 seconds up the road. That AlphaTauri's looking good today. We've got Ocon behind us by 2 seconds, and then Max Verstappen is 4 seconds behind us. I think this is us coming into the pits for our soft compounder tyre on lap 19. I say Ocon goes past, Gasly goes past, Verstappen goes past, Perez goes past, as does Lando. Looks like points might not be in order for this race. So we're in P12, but we've got a good good 10 seconds to catch up. As you can see there, Lando is 10.4 seconds away for us to get points in this race. We've got 6 laps, but we do have a fresh set of soft compound tyres. First, we need to get past Antonio Giovinazzi, the Italian in the Alfa Romeo. It's a poor corner. Turn 5. Okay, so Giovinazzi last. We will break late going into turn 1, and we will attempt to make a move for 11th spot. We're going to get DRS here. There hasn't been a safety car. There has not been a safety car at Baku. And here we go. After a lap, we have gained 7 tenths on Lando Norris. We are up to P11, and we've got a long way to go. Right, 9 seconds to go until we can get to the points. We've got 5 laps to do it in. Can we do it in our brand new South Blues Racing team car? 7 seconds to Max Verstappen now. 7.2. It's doable. We can do it. Ocon's 8.5 up the road. Leclerc's 7.6 behind us. We're safe from any threat from behind. We've got 7 seconds now to catch. Ocon gets overtaken. I think that was just coming together. Ocon now 4.8 seconds up the road. Has he got a problem? Well, as Jeff said, Ocon does have a mechanical problem, and that makes me, well, get my head down. 4.2 seconds now till points. We've managed to half the time in two and a half laps. Just going to get my head down and catch up. 3.8. 3.5. Not sure what's wrong with his car, because he's going slow. I don't know if he's got, well, it's a mechanical problem, so I don't know if that means like a front wing or something. It's not an engine problem, so it's not internal. Using DRS, we're under 3 seconds from points now. Well, a point. Can we do it? 2.8. Verstappen's 5 seconds up the road. We're not going to get him, but we could get 10th. No news on Ocon to whether he has fixed his problem, but we've just gained 5 tenths going around the turn 1 and turn 2. So hopefully, whatever issue he has can still like be there. 2.2 now. We're in within 2 seconds with 2 laps to go, or 2.5 laps to go. We should be within a second by the DRS straight. We're gaining at a rapid speed. Obviously his hards are going to be very, very worn. We have fairly old softs now, but I think old softs are better than older hards, that's for sure. Gonna rip it through this castle section. It's probably one of the best I've ever done it. 1.4, 1.3. We're using as much overtake as we can when deemed necessary. There is a yellow flag on the home straight going down towards turn 19. I think that's an AlphaTauri. can keep an eye on that, but also I'm going to, as I can see, we're within a second of Esteban Ocon now, so we will have DRS. It does look like it's now for Tauri. I'm not sure if it's Gasly or Tsunoda. Okay, so we will have DRS down this straight on Sebastian Ocon. There is still yellow flag, so we can't overtake. Oh my god, Tsunoda's in the middle of the road! That was close to ending Ocon's and our own points challenge, really, but we do move up into 10th by overtaking the Japanese man, the rookie. He is out of the session. We're going to make an overtake on Esteban Ocon going into turn 2. Round the outside, we get DRS and we're going to pull away, and we are going to claim 9th place in this Grand Prix. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton is the race winner. We'll have a look at his perspective, because you might be able to see Tsunoda down that straight, because he is still there on the minimap. And there he is, sat right next to the pit entry. Just go into the pits, mate. And that is us coming down, finishing in the final lap of his 50% Grand Prix round Baku. Little lock up in the right hand tyre there, didn't notice that during the race. And here we are going to bring it home for 2 very well earned points.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. And, talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. So let's review the updated driver standings. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I'm going to give it to the owner driver today. Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not easy to cut through the field like that in Formula 1, so it was a great effort.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from the owner drivers team this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula 1 action. I can't wait to see what's next.